Yeah, I think I feel much better. In the last section, remember, I excused myself because, my throat was feeling rather funny. But it's good as we come now to look at the last aspect of this study of this grand subject of strategy. And in the last section, we looked at some of the challenges that confront us, that confront strategy. And we did say that some people are questioning the relevance of strategy. Some say, well, it's a passing fad, and we must get rid of it and think of other things. The world has changed. It's so complex and so forth. Why should we spend time, hours, resources, planning? And that's what we seek to look at strategy in future. What is in store? What does the future hold for strategy? Well, when I look back, look ahead, when I sit and peer into the future, I see that there will be many things that shall happen and are happening right now. Who would have thought of the cell phone? Who would have thought of exploration? Who would have thought of settling on the moon? Who would have thought of the global economy growing at such a fast rate? Who would have thought that these things would be a reality? A cell phone that we use today, a cordless thing, and we are talking to somebody. The world is like a global village. Things are happening so fast. Decisions that once took years and months perhaps can take few seconds in this click generation. Just on the mouse and so forth, on the internet, you will have made your decisions. You can have video conferencing. You can meet on the, not physically of course, but on a projector, on the computer, you can talk, you can do this and that, you can make decisions. In future, we are likely to see man conquering the underworld, the undersea world, as they make the cities under the sea, as they make cities underground, as they make cities that are suspended in the air, as man begins to use the available space, as people begin to settle on the moon, as they travel to Mars and Jupiter and Saturn and Neptune and Pluto and way beyond. Perhaps as they build powerful communication instruments that will get in touch with Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 and all those that have gone beyond the solar system. Many things will be happening. And right now, things are happening. And the question that begs answering is, what is the future of strategy? Well, when I look at that, it will be a very difficult time. It will be an entirely different context. Even now, it's entirely changing. I think strategies will have to move very fast. We have to develop mechanisms to evolve our strategies, to grease our strategies so that they move at a faster pace and keep in step with the times. It also means that strategies will be more complex and more focused and be perhaps less precise in a sense, because there will be many unstable variables in the environment. But strategy, as we have said, it looks at short term and long term. It looks 5 years, 20 years down the line. Where do we want to be? And we begin to understand our environment and context, as it were, and ensure that we get to our goals. So, in this context, I think strategy will be more necessary than it has been in the past, I think. As computers, for instance, become obsolete within a very short time, 18 months perhaps at the most. As new things keep coming, the old things become obsolete suddenly. I remember when those Roger phones came, people were posing with them and we were all admiring. But if somebody uses that same phone, the Roger, we laugh at them and say, how can you use this? This is an old-fashioned thing. But when you ask the question, doesn't that phone work in the same way in principle as the latest phones? It's the voice that we hear and so forth. Of course, you can argue about the quality and so forth, but essentially it's a communication tool. But those things that were great 5, 10, 20 years ago look entirely old-fashioned and obsolete. Strategy will have to ensure that it positions itself, that it charts a course, that it remains the centerpiece. People who will be able to curve this must be people of great foresight. There must be great strategies. There must be strategic leaders. There must be people of intuition. There must be men and women of purpose. There must be men and women who will thrive in a turbulent environment, things that are not stable. They're able to see a path where people do not see anyway. We need people who will be able to be visionaries, people who will lead us, people who will point to the mountains and say, there, let's go there, dear friends. People who will be there to nurture us, to mentor us, to be trustworthy, to be full of integrity. Strategy will entail that we need not only the right plans, but the right leadership as well. I wonder if you are that leader. When that time comes, when you are talking about right now we're talking about the global worker, the international worker who works in more than one country, I wonder whether you will be that kind of person who will chart the course and will ensure that you get to the mountaintop. Well, as I look in the future, what is in store for a nation like Zambia is that if we only have strategic leadership, this nation can be turned right around overnight. Personally, I long for a day when the average Zambian will be able to plan their day from morning till sunset, and they will be able to utilize their time profitably, efficiently, without much ado, and they will benefit. Because I don't understand why the natives should be poor, and yet people who come from outside identify these things, and within a short time they become filthy rich. It is a paradox, as somebody has said, and I'm sure we can turn the tables. Well, friends, it's been good meeting you, and I think I must be going off just now, but let me encourage you that you look out for our other materials that we are making on strategy and management and so forth. I'm sure you will be blessed. I'm sure you have not been disappointed in this presentation, and I'm sure that those will be much better. So please stay with us and ensure that you avail yourself. So goodbye, dear friends, and thank you for taking the time. The Lord richly bless you.